I hope that it brings joy to people's lives. I hope that it opens people's minds to new things.
When you're trying to become successful, one of the most important things you can do is figure out how to manage your time in the most efficient way possible. You don't want to be stuck not having enough time to get stuff done, and you don't want to have too much going on so that you don't have enough free time to focus on what you really want to.
While you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal.
You're going to make time for what is important to you no matter what. Whatever it is that's going to take up your time, whatever is important to you. Because that's the way you live life, is you spend times doing things that you find important to your everyday life. A lot of people just get stuck at going through the same rotation every day and getting into this monotonous grind of which is just constantly building to nothing.
I never want to be always right, because then I can't grow, I can't learn.
But the people that truly want to become successful take bits and pieces out of their time and out of their day to truly focus on what's deeply important to them and what will further progress them throughout life. And they're going to try to get as much time of that as possible. And that can mean they wake up extremely early to have 2, maybe 3 hours to their day.
But it'll be hard to progress past that because you're so focused on that one destination.
Of untouched, focused work on their goals and dreams. So no one can aggravate them and talk to them, or nothing's distracting them, and they can just work on whatever they think is important to them. Because you don't want to waste any time, because everybody's given 24 hours in a single day. And what really matters is how you use that time to the best of your abilities. The more efficient you are with your time, the more smoother and quicker you're going to get to your goals, dreams, and your aspirations.
Go full throttle 100%. So next thing I knew, we were sitting in a room with Netflix, and here we are.
Sometimes you look behind the curtain at a lot of people's relationships and they're just not as like peachy as they seem. So that was just kind of my shot at like anybody who feels like, oh, like you should have settled by now. I love my space, I love my work, and I love my routine. And for me to break that for somebody, it would just have to be like a really special person that fits into that puzzle and that is supportive of the things I'm doing. It have to be somebody that has taste in music. It'd have to be somebody that, you know, that I get along with so much to the point that when we're separate, I'm feeling like I can't function properly without their presence. I have come across it a few times. I've yet to be able to hold on to it for whatever reason. But yeah, I just really, you know, I'm the captain of a ship and I look behind me and I see a lot of people on board, you know, full steam ahead. That's just kind of how I have to keep rocking for right now. And hopefully I can find somebody that, you know, can just stand beside me at the wheel and help me steer while we keep the journey going, as opposed to me having to pull over and stop because that person is getting seasick. I was really hard on my parents for giving me sort of a childhood that I had to wrap my mind around, you know, as I grew. I, you know, multiple times sort of suggested that they could have done a better job of whatever it was. Yeah, co-parenting, sticking together, you know, not being so divided. And of course, you know, as life takes shape and teaches you your own lessons, I end up in this situation, you know, where I don't have the fairy tale. I think I was more scared to tell my mom because my mom has had real belief and real relationships with women in my life, like over the course of my years, that I'm sure she would expect or be elated if I were to have gotten one of those. I am a single father learning to communicate with a woman who, you know, we've had our moments, right? I mean, I do want to be able to explain to my son what happened, but I don't have any desire for him to like not love his mother. Have found ourselves in a situation and we are both equally responsible. And now like I'm just really excited to be a great father. I'm, for some reason, like ready to go back and start working on new music. Well, I think less than the dollar value, it's just more about the idea of growth and business mindset too. You know, 25 million at the time seemed crazy to me, but when you start becoming a headlining touring act and, you know, brands want to get involved with you and you can go do private events and whatnot, it's, you know, you're capable of making it. And now I want to, you know, for sure, obviously keep touring, keep making music, but now I see that there's other ways, you know, as far as like, you know, this global ambassador thing, as far as maybe starting, I want to invent something. I want to start a company. I want to do something that has maybe nothing to do with music. I think that I've sacrificed so much for it already and dedicated so much of my time that I have to push it as far as I possibly can, because I've given up a lot of years as far as maybe like nurturing like personal relationships go, and you know, trying to build things like a family or a relationship, or I don't do any of that. I just kind of work. So I'm okay with that now. At this point in my life, I'm okay with that.
All these discussions about, like I said, number ones and classics, and I don't care. I just want to make good music, and I just want you to enjoy it. And as long as we have that relationship for the duration of this career, I'm good. Like, I don't need to, like, I don't, you know. And maybe that's why people say I'm there, because I disconnect from it. You know, my uncle always told me something early in my life, which stuck with me, which is that while you're on the journey, you have to disconnect from the end goal. You know, because if you're just focused on some end goal, then you might get there, but it'll be hard to progress past that, because you're so focused on that one destination that it's like, you know, you maybe forget everything in between, and maybe you could have done more in between. He always told me, like, just be here right now, live right now, and do the best you can right now. Don't worry about what that end goal is. It's great to have goals, it's great to have dreams, but it's just like you get too attached to it, and sometimes it could be a self-destructive thing. So, I mean, I just kind of try and progress as much as I can, like right now.